the rising crimes against women in Karnataka is a major cause of concern. Not a week goes by really without a case of a gruesome murder or another crime coming from the southern state of Karnataka. Shocking daylight murder of Neha Hiremath before the Karnataka polls, of course, fanned the flames of women's safety issues to burn up. There were protests, there were demands for resignations. Then there were subsequent claims of love jihad. And all of this, of course, became a huge talking point. Now, not even a month has gone by. Yet another gruesome murder has come to light from Hubballi. This time, it's a 20-year-old woman who's been stabbed to death by a man for allegedly rejecting his proposal. And this is once again, viewers, from Hubballi in Karnataka. This incident took place early this morning when the accused came to the girl's house, stabbed her while she was asleep. The accused right now is absconding. The cops are on a hunt for him. Meanwhile, the BJP has raked up the issue. But before we listen into the political reactions, let's listen into what the police officer who's investigating this crime had to say.
ಬೆಂಡಿಗೇರಿ ಠಾಣಾ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ ವೀರಾಪುರವಣಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಅಂಜಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋರಿಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಬಂದು ಚಾಕು ಹಾಕ್ತಾನೆ. ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಗೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಕರಣ ದಾಖಲಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ತನಿಖೆ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಕಂಡು ಬರೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಕ್ಕದಿದೆ, ಇದು ಹುಬ್ಳಿಯವರೇ, ಬಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಪತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪತ್ತೆ ಟೀಮ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Now, we all saw the kind of politics that played out after the murder of Neha Hiremath. Now, today I spoke to the BJP Vice President Malvika Avinash, asked her a pointed question, whether the BJP is going to raise these issues once again, or is it all over because now there are no more elections in the state of Karnataka. Listening to what she said. Now, we saw last week a brutal murder of a young woman. Today, once again, yesterday in Hubballi, another murder has come to the fore. Now, some of them are saying that the BJP raised its voice quite vehemently when it was Neha murder case because it was a Muslim involved. Right now, they're saying that, are these issues being let go by the opposition?
No, there is never a compromise on security of women or, issues related to women. Any of those shall not be politicized, first and foremost. Neha Hiremath's case got politicized by the Congress party because it is a Congress party which immediately reacted and said it's a personal affair and therefore, the government is not responsible for the breakdown of law and order. But if you really go through the events that have developed over the last 6 months, you can make out that the Home Minister of Karnataka has failed the people and hence so many untoward incidents as well as crimes are occurring in the state. And the government needs to get its act together or the people will give them an answer to that too.
Well, now, while we're talking about the two murders in Hubballi, on the 18th of April, a minor girl was beheaded. This was in Kodagu. This was a 31-year-old man who wanted to marry her. Now, after various talks, of course, were happening, the Women and Child Welfare Department got involved. They intervened and said, well, this cannot happen. The accused was unhappy and went ahead and beheaded this young minor girl. He's now, of course, been arrested. Now, there have been protests and calls for action in some cases, while no talk whatsoever in other instances. Now, the question we have before us today, viewers, is all that we have today, is it political in nature? Are political parties to answer, and is it not so much about who's in power or not, but more about the plight of women in the state? Now, there are two sides to this issue. The first one is the state of women's safety, and society as a whole, of course, needs to do better to ensure that such people are not allowed to fester. And the second one, of course, a selective outrage our politicians have for when it comes to an interfaith relationship as opposed to radio silence when it comes to the same crimes within the same community. Now, let me open this up to our panel of guests who are joining us today. We have today Dr. Sudha R Halkai from the BJP, George Kurian, political analyst, Nirmal Kaur, former IPS officer, Reshma, women's activist, also joins us today on the broadcast. I'm going to take this across firstly to Dr. Sudha Halkai here. Dr. Sudha, very interesting because what happened in Kodagu was absolutely shocking. The state was appalled, but the BJP didn't raise its voice. as strongly as it did in Neha Hiremath's case. Now you have another murder in Hubballi. Where is the call for the CBI probe? Where is the call for resignations? Why aren't your leaders hitting the streets? Are these not, young girls whose safety should be prioritized? Isn't this the role of the opposition as well?
Deepak, let me tell all our viewers that it is our Honorable Prime Minister who said that Nari is the other name of Shakti. So let me tell, we have never been biased when it comes to the safety of the women. We have the utmost respect and we want that the women should be safe in every sector of our country. Now, you are raising a question to me. I would like to raise a question to the Congress Home Minister in the Karnataka and the Chief Minister, that why they have not given any statement like the wise they gave it in the bomb blast case. DK Shivkumar gave a statement, Home Minister gave a statement, Chief Minister gave a statement that it was a cylindrical blast and it was due to some business rivalry. Then again, when it comes to Neha Hiremath case, not even 24 hours had passed and not even the cremation of the girl had taken place. They gave a statement immediately.
The questions to the Congress party, we will ask that. We will ask that Dr. Sudha R Halkai because as far as safety of women is concerned, it's the prerogative of the state government. They are answerable, and we will definitely ask them these questions. But I am asking the BJP, why are you selecting crimes?
We are never
Why are you selecting crimes where you want to really protest over, make demands over?
Selecting crimes, you tell me. Where we have been selective in crime agitation against this, you tell me. We have been always concerned about the women. Every debate, I am telling that more than 50%. Now you take it, the City Crime Records Bureau, it is 61% more crime against the women than the average, Deepak. Who is responsible for this? Who is responsible? The current Karnataka Congress government has paralyzed the law and order completely. Why are they giving this return gift to the people? They say they're giving this 2,000 rupees as a guarantee to the women. Why are not they giving the guarantee to the safety of the women in Karnataka? Why are they disabled today? Why are they paralyzed in doing so? My question to the people, to the Chief Minister and Home Minister of Karnataka, why are they are not doing this? Are we responsible for all this?
Dr.
Because
Sudha
we have
Halkai,
been doing
like I
education.
mentioned,
The
the purpose of this debate is twofold. One is to highlight the safety of women, the crimes against women that seems to be only rising, and the government that needs to act upon it. And the question will be asked to either the Congress or anybody who wants to defend the Congress today on the debate. But the question that I'm asking the BJP, today we are not hitting the streets. After Neha Hiremath's murder, there were protests in Hubballi, there were protests in Bengaluru, there were protests in Mysuru, there were protests in Hassan, there was protests across the state. Today, why aren't you raising this as vehemently as you did earlier?
Three women who have suffered.
Is the life of this 20-year-old not important for the BJP? Is the life of that minor in Kodagu not important for the BJP?
In Kalburgi. Deepak, I think you are not aware that 60,000 people in Kalburgi had protested a crime against three women who belong to the same family who were assaulted by 20 men in the midnight. The news has not taken this issue. Please go back to 4th of this month.
I'm talking about this. I'm talking about what happened in Kodagu. Apart from a tweet that came in after several hours from some of your leaders, nothing was raised as far as the beheading of that young girl in Kodagu is concerned. This crime now that has taken place in Hubballi.
The peace and harmony of Karnataka, which is to be at the
Why wasn't there today the BJP held a press conference in Bengaluru? Why was this not a topic of the press conference? How many press conferences did the BJP hold during the time of Neha Hiremath?
Why Sidramaya and Home Minister are not taking any against the culprits? Why they giving a heavenly atmosphere for the culprits? Why so many crimes all of a sudden in 10 months after the Congress government has come into power? Why it has eroded so much?
Okay.
Why is it? Our question is still
Mr.
from
Kurian,
day one to date.
After the Congress government has come in, the crimes against women have only been increasing is the charge of the BJP.
Exactly, 61% according to the City Crime Records Bureau, 61%.
Okay, let Mr. Kurian come in. Dr. Halkai, just hold on. Let Mr. Kurian as well come in.
Deepak, I was listening to Dr. Sudha, and it's not a fault. She's not able to defend the indefensible at this point in time. As we all know that, the Bharatiya Janata Party always tries to politicize anything, irrespective of how sensitive the issue is. Coming back to the state of Karnataka has still not come out of the shock and sadness of Neha Hiremath. that the unfortunate two incidents that has come to the fore, we really,
Deepak,
we are
let me
shocked
tell
about the
Deepak,
incidents.
just
Having
the
said
Girish,
that,
Girish
Dr. Sudha, give me the courtesy. Let me complete. Let me
had
put forward my
threatened to
views.
murder this girl, and the family
So
had given a
the
complaint
point
to the
is,
police station.
the
Still, the
point
police have
is
not taken the
the
action. Why is that?
Congress
Why is that lapse
government
of the law
under
and
the
order?
leadership,
The Anjali
the
family had
Congress
already given
government
the
under
complaint to
the
the police
leadership
station. They have
of
not taken. They should have
Siddaramaiah
taken
is
and arrested
capable,
Girish.
Okay.
Why
and
did they
under the
not do
Home
that?
Minister, Dr.
Dr.
Parmeshwar
Halkai,
is
we'll go
capable.
one by one. We'll
The
go one
law
by
and
one. Let
order in
Mr.
the
Kurian
state,
complete.
No,
the
why the
law and
action was
order
not
in the
taken? My
state
question is why the action was not
is
taken against Girish, in spite
the
of the
best
family
as
giving a
compared to
complaint.
Bharatiya
The
Janata
girl
We'll
Party.
is
ask
an
him that.
orphan. Her
We'll ask him
parents
that,
have
Dr.
lost their
We will
Halkai.
child.
But if
She's
you
ensure
staying with
speak
her
over him, he'll
grandparents.
not be able to answer.
the matter
I'll
will
ask
be
him that question. I'll ask him that question. Your question will be taken across to him. Just hold on. Let him complete what he's saying, and then he'll answer your question as well.
Deepak, let me reassure your audience and the people of Karnataka at large and reiterate that the state government is capable, the state police machinery is capable of handling all situations. And with respect to Neha's murder, the case has been expedited, and the Congress government has also given the assurity that justice will be done, and capital
Mr.
punishment is
Kurian, where
what
is
the
the
Congress
SIT
party has
probe
taken.
here? Why is the SIT not looking into Anjali's murder? You succumb to, at that point in time, the pressure or whatever the BJP really relied on at that point in time. They demanded a CBI probe. You said, well, an SIT will do. Why doesn't this case deserve an SIT then? Now, are you saying
Deepak,
that Neha Hiremath's murder, you gave it to the SIT just because of political pressure?
well,
And more
Deepak,
importantly, you should answer. You're saying that, safety of women is important and is of paramount importance to the Congress party. When you have an incident like what happened in Kodagu last week, you had the Women and Child Welfare Department who was aware that there was this individual who was looking to marry a minor girl. And there were issues within the family because, of their intervention at that point in time. So why didn't they, really take any sort of signs or signals, ensure protection of this young girl? She was beheaded.
well,
If you're
Deepak,
going to assure the people and the viewers today that the Congress government is serious about the safety of women, there should have been some proactive steps from the Congress party. We didn't see that happening.
well, Deepak, I heard
And
you.
it wasn't
I
an
heard you. Let
incident
me
where
rebut.
it was completely personal. You have the Women and Child Welfare Department that got involved in that particular case.
Well, Deepak, I heard you. Let me reply back so that your audience also comes to know what exactly the Congress government is looking forward to. See, the Congress, there are certain issues in certain cases. It is out of the preview, or it is out of the control of the state police machinery. See, if certain complaints come to the police machinery or the police station, the police is aware. There are certain issues, so they can take cognizance of the case. When suddenly something out of the bloom, out of nowhere happens in certain scenario, it becomes difficult for the state machinery or the police machinery to take cognizance. It's only after the incident has taken place that cognizance will be taken and appropriate action will be done. In this scenario, it's not that the Karnataka state police machinery is not capable enough. It is capable enough under the leadership of Dr. Parmeshwar and also under the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. We will ensure that safety of every individual, be it women and every individual of the state, will be taken care of, and appropriate actions will be taken against the accused in this case. Arrest has been done, and we will ensure that the most severe punishment will be taken or given in this case, and the matter will be expedited.
Okay, matter will be expedited, you're saying, but that pointed question that I asked you about, especially what happened in Kodagu, is not answered. SIT, wanted to take, or the state government said the SIT should look into Neha Hiremath's case. There was political pressure, the state government budged. But now,
that is because
the same sort of action movement we are not looking
My
at.
question is, in spite of the
handle
complaint
case.
being given, the police didn't take an action. Why is it? Because the police are handcuffed by the Congress government today.
Not at all.
Many cases are being taken.
The police has a free hand.
Answer me
They're
that.
capable. There is no political pressure at all.
Absolutely. Then why did Neha Hiremath's father ask for a CBI inquiry? Why did the people in Karnataka, 3 women in Kalburgi who have been assaulted, they asked for a CBI inquiry? Why is that everybody are asking for a CBI inquiry in spite of they saying that CID is going to inquire? We don't have any faith on the state government. Any agencies which are under the state government is under threat.
That's not true. The
They're
state police is capable to handle every situation, every case.
We are not saying they're not capable. They are capable.
Because there was a demand for a CBI inquiry, we have gone ahead and given the CBI the case to the CBI. That doesn't mean that the state police is not capable enough to handle
It is a
any
shame on
situation
the
or any
Congress
case.
government that so many
The
people
BJP is
are
only
being-
trying to
No,
politicize
no. Women is not
the
safe
entire
Okay,
thing
very
Congress
quickly.
because elections are
Okay,
going on at this
okay,
point in
keeping
time.
How
for
can
a
you
for a
justify
moment.
that? The women
Let's
are
take a
not safe
breather
under
from the
Congress government
politics.
today.
Reshma, you've been listening to both our representatives here, of course, who are talking on behalf of their political parties. Now, crimes against women,
The Nirbhaya
it is
fund is not
something that
used,
is a big
Deepak.
cause of
Ask them why they have
concern,
not
not
used
just
the
in
Nirbhaya funds
Bengaluru,
since
not
past
just
1
in
year.
Karnataka, in different parts of the country as well. Now, Reshma, when you look at such instances repeatedly occur, it is, of course, the duty of the state government to do what it can to ensure that crimes are cracked at the earliest. And, the punishment that is meted out, of course, should serve as a deterrent to prevent future crimes. Where do you think that the government has gone wrong, or what do you think that they can do better in such instances?
See, firstly, I would like to express my sincere condolence to the family of the 20-year-old Anjali, who has been killed and stabbed to death in Karnataka, especially in Hubballi. I think it is important that, in society, the patriarchal system, which is the main culprit, structure where women were targeted, and whether it is during the time of a conflict, or women are moving freely in the society, or whether she is gaining education, nowhere else she has been she has been targeted everywhere. And these issues should be looked into the gender based violence, harassment, and discrimination point of view across not only in Karnataka and across India. These incidences happening every day, we could see through the news report. And we must remember that the question of violence against women, it stems from the existence of the patriarchal structure and values in society, and which is which varied from region to region. And the social norms, economical disparities, legal frameworks, even though and even the cultural attitudes within the society, which is greatly responsible for the issues. And it really requires the government to improvise the safety measures for the women. And the government has to take legal steps specifically concerned to the women safety point of view. Even though they have enacted many laws which has not been implemented properly in the state, throughout the nation also. That's the reason we could see the increase of the cases of violence and cases of murder.
Could you point
cases
some of them out, Reshma? Could you point some of them out that should have been implemented and haven't been?
See, when the rape issues are happening regularly, the government should take a step where the police as well as the civil society organizations together have to lead the campaign, not only from the point of view of the women, but the protection point, safety point, and the future generations are there. So the generation has to learn how to look into the, look of women in a equal perspective, and not coming under the patriarchal thinking. We could see these kind of an incidences where men are being, thinking that they can control the women, and they are, their commodities. It is not like that. Being a human being, I think it is very important in those lines. The legal framework has to be, the judicial framework has to be, implemented properly. Even the legal frameworks are there.
We have a former IPS officer as well, Nirmal Kaur, today with us. Probably she could throw more light into what are the measures that can be taken by the police. Fast tracking cases like this is something that has been spoken about, Ms. Kaur, in the past. But most of this just remain as lip service. As far as on the ground, you still see these sort of cases dragging on. The people who commit such crimes after a few months getting bail. Well, how do you really, put an end to all of this and somewhere curtail these crimes against women, which has been steadily on the rise?
Definitely, it's such a horrific murder. Brutally beheading, decapitating the girl. These horrible crimes are happening against the women. And I would say, political parties, like Mr. Kurian said, they politicize it. He named a particular party. I would say this tendency is there in all the parties, in some less. I think everyone takes advantage of it. It's there across the board. What should be across the board, on in view of all the parties, the vision they should have is that women are safe. Whichever party rules, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, our women are safe. That is our priority, to make women in the home, in their houses, on the street, at their workplace, everywhere. So what you're talking is fast tracking and all. Maybe that is after the event, but there's a lot of preventive work that can be done. Time and again, we have talked of the crime of stalking. It doesn't get enough importance in our society. Neither our police takes, nor the victim goes to the police. When you're being stalked, when you're being chased, when you're being approached, like this girl Anjali must have been before all this happened, she has to go to the police, maintain proper logs. And even in the West, a country like America, they are very particular about their data. They organize their data very well, maintain very good data. They say almost all the victims of stalking are killed within a year. So stalking, but still in our society, stalking, the stalker is not bound. There's nothing, neither in the society, nor by the community, nor by the police, nor by the judicial system. So we do not take the security of women, we verbalize it. Everyone across the board is mouthing it.
Yeah.
That we Nari Shakti hai, we worship our women. We are this, traditionally, we are Devi Pujaks. Everything is there. But the safety of women, even within the house, whether a woman is protected, that is doubtful. And in the street, in the workplace, out at large, she's totally vulnerable. And the society doesn't take enough care to protect its women. And women's crime against women is on the rise, no doubt. Reporting is also on the rise, because as women become more aware of their rights, they come out. Gee, you were saying something?
Yeah. Ms. Kaur, I'm going to take this back to the BJP and also Mr. Kurian here, because they were talking about how whether under the Congress there have been rising crimes against women and the Congress hasn't done anything. The Congress in turn says that they have been doing under the BJP. It is. Let me put out some stats. My producer Saksham has given us some data here, which is also, of course, on our screens for the viewers to see. As far as crimes against women in Karnataka is concerned, and I want you to, listen to this very carefully, Dr. Halkai. 2020, it was 12,680 cases of crimes against women. In 2021, it became 14,468. 2022, it became 17,813. These were all the time during which the BJP was, of course, in power. It's a 40% rise. It's a 40% rise in crimes against women. And well, the Congress shouldn't think that, of course, they've done any better. When you look at even stats of 2023, this is as far as Bengaluru is concerned. In 2021, it was 2,020 cases. In 2022, it was 2,630. In 2023, it's 3,260. So there has been a pattern. There has been consistently a rise in crimes against women, like Ms. Kaur was pointing out. There is a situation, of course, where women are reporting it as well. But the crimes continue to happen. And it is on the rise, at least statistically. So whether it's the BJP or the Congress, instead of whenever you're not in power and in the opposition to blame the other, have you all sat together collectively when the assembly session happens to discuss these issues which matter to the people. Safety of women is something that is of utmost importance, and every citizen, of course, will say it. And it has been session after session that personal political matters, of course, take center stage, Dr. Halkai. Why is this not being made a priority?
I being a woman, I give the utmost priority for the safety of the women today. One thing. Second thing is the Nirbhaya funds are not used in Karnataka since past 1 year. Why aren't they used? Third thing is the complaint was raised against the culprit by the grandparents of this girl Anjali. That is against the culprit Girish. Still action was not taken. Why did the police not catch the culprit before in hand? And the third question is, when Neha Hiremath case has taken place, why did they not implement any strict law that any such cases will be taken immediate action? Why so long the cases are being granted? Why the culprits who were responsible for undressing a woman, Dalit women in Belgaum, are on bail today? This is the reason everybody has set on
Dr.
bail to the who
Halkai,
have
each
done
and
the
every
worst
issue
to
that
worst
that is
crime, and
precisely why I'm asking you, the BJP, the opposition, which can raise the Neha Hiremath murder so aggressively, hold multiple press conferences in a day, a week-long protest. Why
That
are,
is-
the,
that
why
is-
are
that
you
is
as the
because- that is
opposition
because-
not,
that is
making
because the
sure
chief
that
minister-
the
because the chief
Congress is
minister and the
answerable to
home
each and
minister
every crime?
gave- the
It is the
home
role of
minister
the
and the chief
opposition as well in
minister
a
gave-
democracy.
See, we are a very constructive opposition, let me tell you. And we have been given this because the chief minister and the home minister had given a very insensitive, irresponsible, inhuman statement in the case of Neha Hiremath. Now, after all that agitation, whenever the crime is taken place in Karnataka, take it in the assembly, when pro-Pakistani slogans were raised, every time the action is taken only because the BJP has been taking agitations against these people. Unless and until BJP is
No, my
taking a
question,
loud voice on this, these people
my
are not
question,
taking
Dr.
any
Halkai,
action.
it is your job to raise these questions. It is your
Yeah,
job
we
to
are
raise
doing
these
that. We are
questions.
doing
You
in
should
all
do
the
it. As
cases.
the
We are
opposition,
doing-
you're the
we are
principal
doing it. We
opposition.
are
But the
asking
question
why the
here is,
crime rate-
you're talking
My
about
question
again
is why
pro-Pak
they are not
slogans.
given
You're
the
again
guarantee
talking
to
about
the
Neha
women,
Hiremath.
to the
Because,
safety of the
because
women,
there
like
was
the
a communal
guarantee
element in
2000 they are
it,
given to the
did the
people.
BJP
Why?
stand to gain? And that's why you took it up so aggressively. And is the
Absolutely
the
no.
overall interest of women's safety also a priority for the
We don't
BJP?
need to play such politics. We are there for the overall interest of the women and for the security of the women. Deepak, we cannot take this allegation what you are putting on us. Rather, let us ask the present Congress government what they are doing today. That so much of crime against women is increased, and day by day we are on the national channels for this all these irrelevant things. It is such a shameful thing to come on the this platform and talk
It's
about
not irrelevant. It is not irrelevant. It is an important issue that's being taken up.
I'm
This
telling,
is a murder of a
I'm not
20-year-old that we're
irrelevant.
talking about.
I'm telling that this time shouldn't happen only. Why are the law and order is collapsed today in Karnataka? Why this issue should raise? Why they're not taking a preventive action in spite of so many cases taking place? Isn't 1 year
Mr.
enough?
Kurian, last 1 year, Nirbhaya funds
Should we
not
still
being
wait for
used
such
by the
cases?
Congress party is the charge that the BJP is putting.
Deepak, I heard
The rise in crimes against
activist,
women, the
Resh-
Congress is not addressing it. They're saying that the BJP has to remind the Congress of its duty time and again.
Deepak, I heard very carefully activist
this is
Reshma and
very
former IPS Nirmal ji. I've taken cognizance of their views that they have put forward on national television at this point in time. As a preventive measure, and a progressive measure, what we will try to do is, on behalf of the Congress government in Karnataka, that we should run a campaign to create awareness among the women, especially the women of the state, if they're facing any kind of danger, or if there is any situation where they are unsure about certain people, with respect to certain people, they should bring it to the notice of the state police and the state machinery, so that appropriate action can be taken and a watch can be
Mr.
kept.
Kurian,
So that is one thing that the
in
state government
the Kodagu case that we are referring to, it was brought to the notice of the Women's Commission. It falls under the state government's purview. Even in the Hubballi case, there are relatives, of course, who sparked off some concerns. Now, if the police do not really take these as signs of a possible crime that is going to happen and prevent it, then what is the use of the police force?
See, we don't want any situation.
If they are going to only act after the crime has taken place.
Woman of any family to go through such a situation. That is what I'm saying. That the state government could run a campaign across the state, so that awareness can be created among the women, especially, so that they are not succumb to certain things like that. In the future. That is what I'm trying to put forward.
Well, we've heard different perspectives, of course, but one thing is for certain:
the woman has
crimes
to be
against
safe.
women is on the rise. Whether it's because of the sole fact that it's being reported, well, it's not something that one would probably agree with. If there are crimes that are being reported, it is the duty, of course, of the police to look into these crimes and look into it even when it's reported before the actual crime takes place. And that's going to be, of course, a top priority for us to keep flagging these issues time and again. And as the opposition, I request the BJP as well to, keep a neutral stand when it comes to crime. You play the role
We
of the
have
opposition,
always
an
been
efficient
neutral. We
one,
have
to
been
keep
always
reminding
neutral.
that
Please
the
appeal to
government
the
needs to
Congress
do its
government to
job.
take
And
care
of
of the
course,
safety of our-
as of now, the priority here would be for the government, which is the Congress, to ensure that women feel safe in the state. Whether the elections or not, that shouldn't really matter. Investigation should be of topmost priority, topmost standard, and it should be for every crime, and it should be for all women and their safety. With that, I'm slipping into a quick break. On the other side, more news and updates coming up on Mirror Now. Thanking all our guests.